Hello YouTube, it's Accurate again, back with a new video from this home studio of mine. And to be honest, I don't really know what this video is gonna be like or how to package it. I guess some people call this video like this a vlog, but it's not about my personal life or anything, so I don't feel like that's the right term to use. You know, this is just a slow, normal Sunday and I'm trying to finish up on some musical projects and some videos and some stuff like that. But it's really, really hard to focus because of the Namm Show and pretty much everything going on YouTube. I live in Sweden, which is just a messy, snowy place at the moment. And now I just feel like I need to make a video covering some of the stuff that I'm really excited about seeing being released right before or during the Namm Show. And yeah, I totally forgot about the intro, so... So the Winter Namm Show has pretty much become the place and the time where people are dropping their new hardware and software things for music production. Now, I don't care about everything. I don't care about the guitar stuff or the bass stuff or the pedals or all of the things aimed for live audio engineers and stuff like that. But I am really interested and excited about some of the products that has been released or announced or whatever. And being a sample-based electronic music producer myself, first of all, I just need to mention the stuff from Akai. The Akai Force, the new one. It just looks great. Phenomenal, kind of big and bulky, but still awesome. Maybe it has to be like that to be able to work like that. Well, who knows? I'm just really excited about it. What's really cool about the Akai Force in my book is that it's a standalone unit. It's a big bulky device, it has a touchscreen and a bunch of different function buttons as well as pads, but it's made to work and function as a standalone unit. I already have the Akai MPC Live and I do see some similarities between this one and the Force, but still, 64 pads compared to 16 pads with kind of the same workflow, but integrated synthesizers, really cool sampling mode. The built-in sequencer, the connectivity, the everything about it just looks great. And I'm really excited to try it out, and that's gonna happen as far as I know. And to me, it kind of feels like someone has taken the MPC Live and maybe the Ableton Push, mashed the two of them together, plus added a lot of thoughts and a lot of new ideas into it, and just come up with this crazy device that looks and seems to have a really good workflow with kind of everything. Now, of course, it's really hard for me to say anything specific at this point because I haven't really tried it out myself. I haven't even seen it in person because, again, I'm stuck in Sweden. But I definitely feel like Akai has made something really important here. And so far, I'm a big fan of the Akai Force, and when I get to try it out and use it myself, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna love it. Some of the demos from the Namm Show with Andy Mack from Akai is really good stuff, and he shows a lot of the different functionality, so I really want to encourage everyone who's interested in this one to just do a search on YouTube and find one of Andy Mack's demos from the Namm Show, and it's some good stuff right there. But the Akai Force is definitely not the only thing that's been released on the Namm Show that I'm excited about, so let's jump into the next one, which has to be that new Native Instruments keyboard that's called the Komplete Kontrol M32. It's pretty much a MIDI keyboard with 8 different knobs compatible with Native Instruments stuff and the whole NKS system. So that's pretty much the same type of integration with the software that I have on my S61 keyboard, on my Maschine MK3 controller, and the Komplete Kontrol A25. So 8 knobs, really great for that type of functionality. And I made a video pretty much a week ago talking about MIDI keyboards in general, and I mentioned that I really enjoy the whole form factor of the keystep from Arturia, which has 32 keys, just as the new M32 from Native Instruments. So I'm hoping for pretty much the same kind of form factor as this one, nice and slim with MIDI keys, but with the great addition of 8 knobs for NKS and Native Instruments compatible software. This one still wins when it comes to connectivity, so you're right there, bow beats, we had a conversation about it. But for me though, who's really into the whole Native Instruments system with Maschine as the basis of my entire setup, I just think I'm gonna love this one, the M32 keyboard from Native Instruments. They also dropped a couple of different products as well. Hardware-wise, we're talking about 2 different audio interfaces from Native Instruments, pretty much aimed for the entry-level market, I guess. But they also announced something called Complete Start, which is a free complete version for everyone who just goes to their website and downloads it. I haven't really checked it out yet, but I'm planning to do that on my secondary computer just to get a feel for it. but it really sounds like a good value for money because it's no money at all. It's completely free, so yeah. And of course they also announced a new version of the Tractor software compatible with iOS devices, and the only one I have is this one, my iPhone 8 Plus, so I'm not going to use that much for DJ stuff. But I also have the newer Tractor Kontrol S4, so that's what I use for that kind of stuff. But I think it's a really nice thing for them to introduce, as well as a better integration for sounds.com, a new upgrade for the Maschine software. But yeah, let's just leave Native Instruments and the M32 and all the other stuff for now and go on to the next thing, which is a really cool new synthesizer from Arturia called Micro Freak. And I'm really glad that a company like Arturia put some real love into creating a new small-sized synthesizer that doesn't necessarily has to be analog, you know? So the new Micro Freak is a digital texting. That's a thing. So the Micro Freak from Arturia looks really cool and it's digital, so I really like that. Yeah, well, analog synthesizers are amazing and I have a few of them from Arturia actually. It gets a little bit weird for me when everyone does the same kind of thing and everyone gets into analog synthesizers and everything has to be analog and monophonic instead of polyphonic or even paraphonic, and yeah, it's a little bit weird. Well, not to say that the Micro Freak isn't weird, because that's also weird, but in kind of a different way. And now I'm just thinking about the physical keyboard of it. It's not a physical keyboard that you press down as you normally do. Apparently it's called a PCB keybed, which is kind of an old school technology for creating touch surfaces, which is kind of cool. And at least from the different audio examples that I've heard from the Arturia Micro Freak, it sounds a little bit special and not like everything else at the moment, which is a really good thing. So I'm really hoping to get my hands on the Micro Freak as well and dig into the functionality of it and try to create something with it, because the audio examples is one thing, actually making music with it is kind of a different thing. And talking about stuff like that, let's dig into the Teenage Engineering Modular stuff, which is pretty much 3 different hardware units that they sell right now from their website. It's been out for like a week or something, and the big one has already been sold out, unfortunately. Their whole modular system contains a lot of different modules, basically, and you buy them in kits. So one option is just to get the keyboard thingy called 16, which is pretty much, as far as I know at this point, just a controller for the other stuff. And you could control other modular gear like Eurorack or something with it, but it's kind of designed to be paired up with the other kits, which is the 170 that has a keyboard as well as a few modules, or connect the keyboard thing to the 400, the big yellow awesome looking thing that I really want to get here in the studio. It would look awesome around here somewhere. But my first thought when I saw this was actually to sell my OPZ. I got this one when it was released and I like it a lot, but I haven't really had the time to dig into it as deeply as I wanted to. And since I have the OP1 since before, I think like getting the big modular system would make more sense, because that makes me able to create more weird sound design types of things and use that in a different way that I'm able to do with the OPZ. But of course those products are not comparable to anyone else than me. It's just kind of the same amount of money, and I like this whole yellow big thing. So even though I've promised myself before to not get into modular systems and get crazy with that whole thing, this really pulls me into that direction of going modular, but through this system more than a normal Eurorack system, because this also looks amazing. And I just think it would be really fun to use, but at the same time I kind of hear myself just trying to convince myself to get it. So it's kind of a small basic modular kit with 3 different oscillators and a bunch of different ways to patch the cables and stuff. So for the more experimental part of me and the weird, crazy, quirky sound design, make a noise part of me, yeah, I guess this one just speaks to me, you know? Yeah, on to the next one, which is one of the new Behringer clones. I never thought I was gonna be excited about this stuff, but I actually think I am. And weirdly enough, I'm not talking about the 808, the Pro 1, or the MS-101. What got me excited here is the new Behringer Odyssey clone. Don't really know why, but something about it just speaks to me again. Something about the hardware just looks really, really good. I know a lot of people out there have strong opinions, both positive and negative, about what Behringer are doing with this, but I'm not really sure myself how to feel about it. There was just something about some of the demos of the Odyssey that just made it feel more usable than I've ever felt before about the Odyssey. And I guess that has more to do with the Odyssey itself and the demos than the actual new hardware. So I might be wrong here. Now, of course, the Behringer new RD808 Rhythm Designer also looks great and way, way better than the previous videos that's been out. Now, I know I've said some stuff without really thinking about it in a comment before on one of my previous videos about the 808 from Behringer, but now it really looks great, and I can admit at least it seems like I was wrong. It's big, it looks well built, and even though I'm not really a big fan of the lighting system on the transport control, that's just a small thing about the design that I'm not a big fan of, but the entire thing looks pretty cool. So on to the next one, which is the new thing from Elektron. It's called Elektron Model Sample, and it's a sample playback device. Now, I've never had anything from Elektron myself, and maybe this is like the first best and easiest starting point to get into their workflow of things. It does seem like the model sample is kind of different from other things they've released before, and this is kind of a situation where you have one knob per function instead of the whole menu diving system that Elektron is pretty much known for. It needs to be said though that this is not a sampler. You can't like record samples into it, you can't bring it on the go and record something from anywhere at all into it and use it as a sample. You have to use the software and drag and drop from the computer to get your samples into it. But once you've done that, the sequencer seems to be really straightforward and user-friendly. For my own sake, I'm not sure that I'm ever going to be able to make a full track on a thing like this. It reminds me a little bit of the Volcas sample, but like a bigger, better version of it with more functions and just better. It does look like it's going to be great for live purposes and doing live shows on it and sequence some small patterns and loops on the fly. But as a production unit, I'm not really sure. But again, I don't really know what I'm talking about here. I haven't tried it myself. I've just seen a few videos and I have some thoughts about it. I might be wrong. I would prefer it to be black actually, but yeah. It's a device and it's kind of exciting. So that's that. Next up, I just want to mention the new Korg Volcas, which are the Volca Modular and the Volca Drum. And I've actually had a few Volcas myself over the years. I've had the FM, I've had the Volca Sample and the Volca Keys. And even though I really want to love the Volcas, I just don't. Please don't get me wrong here. The Volcas are so much fun to use, and it's really simple and straightforward to create something kind of unique on the sequencers and with the small tiny knobs, and it's a really cool experience. But for me and my music making, I've just never really gotten the Korg Volcas to fit into my setup and be usable in a bigger perspective, if you know what I'm saying. So even though the Volca Modular and the Volca Drum seems like cool devices, I can't really see myself buying them and using them a lot. So not super excited. But Korg also announced a new version of the minilogue called Minilogue XD. The Minilogue XD is pretty much the old minilogue, but with a bunch of extra stuff added to it. They've taken some things from the Prologue, which is the bigger and better and more expensive synth. They've added a digital oscillator as well, if I'm not mistaken. And really taken this really good synthesizer and just upgraded it to 2.0 basically, which is the XD version. And I like that a lot, and who knows, maybe it's gonna find its way into my setup and be a part of this room. I don't know. It definitely looks like a really valuable upgrade for a really good product from the beginning, so why not? Well, I guess we can all kind of agree on the fact that the 2019 Winter Namm Show has brought us a lot of really cool stuff so far. And to be honest, I've pretty much become this gearhead tech nerd for music production stuff over the last few years. So the Namm Show and the videos and the new stuff coming out is pretty much all I think about these days. So making a video like this is kind of necessary for me to do, to just get my thoughts out of my head and into a video and up on YouTube. And I'm realizing that I totally forgot to mention the new audio interfaces from Arturia, which looks great. And of course the Invader, the new DJ mixer, which is pretty much a computer in its own, so you don't need to use a laptop or anything, just a turntable and a mixer with everything inside of it, running Serato or Tractor. Crazy. And I'm sure there's many more things that I just haven't touched on in this video or not even seen myself. It's that much stuff coming out of Namm this year, which is amazing. Now let's also announce the winner for my last giveaway that I did on this channel for the Native Instruments stuff that I have to give away. And let's use the app again. Random comment picker YouTube. Paste the video link like that. Search for it. Amount of unique commenters, 488. So that's great. Now I said that the comment needs to have the word kindness in it. So let's just hope that the winner has the word kindness in the comment, or else I need to pick another one, I guess. So let's hit start. And that's a name that I can't see from here. And it says Remy Gold, and the comment is, your kindness of sharing your skill is appreciated. And that comment is appreciated by me. So a huge congratulations to Remy Gold who won this giveaway, and I'm gonna contact you on YouTube, and I need your email address, and we will get everything set up for the prize. Cool. And I also want to add a big fat thank you to everyone who participated in the giveaway by just commenting and mentioning the word kindness. So the fact that I forced you to use the word kindness in the comment just made the entire comment section super nice and beautiful and just full of kindness and love, and that's really good. Thanks a lot. So let's wait a little bit with the next giveaway, because I want to do that in a live stream, I think. And that's also a new thing. Now I have decided to try to make my YouTube live streams a more regular thing. So I kind of have a schedule now, which means that I'm aiming to do at least one live stream a week, and that's on Monday of every week around 9:30 my local time here in Sweden, Europe. So I'm gonna put some times here, I think. I really hope I'm gonna be able to do that once a week, Monday at 9:30 my time. Sometimes it's gonna be music making, sometimes just talking, hanging out, answering questions, stuff like that. And in my next live stream this upcoming Monday, that's gonna contain a giveaway for this whole Native Instruments stuff. This time it was a bunch of different products, and it's going to be something similar next time. Maybe a little less and maybe more focused on machine expansions, but now I'm just rambling. I don't know anymore if that's going to be the case. I haven't planned this out good enough. And I know this video was kind of focused on gear, and that's one of my interests in life, I guess. But I also want to add that gear for music making, like groove boxes, synthesizers, drum machines, and all that stuff. It's really fun, and it's a good tool to use for creating music. But you can also make music, make awesome, great sounding music on just a laptop, or an iPad, or an old school sampler, or pretty much whatever. You don't need the gear to make the music. It's not in the gear, it's always in the air. That's kind of a cliche by now, I guess, but it's still true. Well. Thanks a lot for watching this video. I hope to see you guys in the next one, and also on the live stream on Monday. Thanks a lot again. Ha det gott. Bye. Accurate beats.